Welcome in, welcome back, and congratulations to the back-to-back NFC North champions, your one seed, the Detroit Lions. A groovy Victory Monday starts right now. Burn, baby, burn. Double-digit disco and a statement win, John.
It's alive. It is certainly alive. I'm not sure I could take either of us seriously wearing this garb. So if you want to see it, you got to go to Twitch. Enjoy not just the audio that we are going to hear from Dan Miller, Dan Campbell, almost the entire roster of the Detroit Lions throughout the course of today, but you want to be able to see it on Twitch as well. It's 97.1, twitch.tv, 97.1 the ticket. We went full disco, at least our version of it.
I was going to say, I have a sequined button up if you'd like me to add that to the mix as well. But I think this does the trick. The glasses, the chain, the disco. Yeah, we're here, guys. And you guys are welcome all morning long. 248-539-9797. John, as they say, belt to ass.
Yeah.
I mean, a dominant win for the Lions.
How about that secondary? How about that defense? That to me was the absolute story yesterday. And yeah, Gibbs, that's part of the story. There's so many different things. Anzalone being back, how impactful he was, and how much better the defense played. I don't know if it was scheme, if it was Aaron Glenn, or it was Amik Robertson and his familiarity with Justin Jefferson. But that defense, especially in the red zone, inside the 5-yard line, was, you say belt to ass, that is exact foot to ass.
Sam Darnold, 1 of 8 passing in the red zone in the first half. Some of that is he was missing. Some of that is the Lions had sped him up. They threw his timing off, and that was a theme all day, and it's a masterclass by Aaron Glenn. I mean, think about it. We spent the weeks talking about you're going to have to win shootouts. You're going to have to win shootouts. It's 10-6 at the half, and the Lions have Aaron Glenn, Amik Robertson, who's not intimidated by Justin Jefferson, Alex Anzalone, Zadarius Smith with a sack early in the game. The defense absolutely put him in position to win the game, and it was only a matter of time before the offense started to get going. And they did. And it's Jahmyr Gibbs' a 4-touchdown day. Like, John, we have a million ways to go with this football game, but the big takeaway is now the path to the Super Bowl goes through Detroit.
It's hard to believe from where this team began with Dan Campbell at 1-6 and the amount of crap that this staff and Sheila took at that time. And I always go back, and I know that they've played it on some of the national broadcasts the last couple of weeks, or really the last half of this season, from her talking about at 1-6, how they're going to stay the course, and the entire thing that she said about sticking with Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, and believing in them to where the Lions, the franchise is now. And for those, I know that there were those that were at the stadium last night. If you're just waking up, you're probably still sleeping. But if you're just waking up, I want to hear what that was like. TJ was texting me just before the game. It was about, 6 o'clock. He said the place was absolutely packed. And I want to know how you welcomed those 2,000 extra Vikings fans the Vikings bought $2 million worth of tickets, sold them at cheap so that they could have a little bit bigger voice. Their staff could have a better seat. Welcome to Ford Field. And what was that environment like? And I mean, the season ticket holders that I've known for a long time were texting me last night. This is amazing. This is unbelievable. 2-time defending NFC North champs. The number 1 seed. This is where they have come from. 1-6 to now the number 1 seed, the bye week, which is so desperately needed. But the Lions, for the foreseeable future, until the Super Bowl, will be playing at Ford Field.
John, I don't think those 2,000 fans made it into the game. Because I don't know if you read some of the details on that. By the way, Vikings trying to do a nice thing, get their fans in there, give themselves a chance. Those fans, some of which resold the tickets because they got such a good deal they could sell them for a profit. And it's so pathetic that Minnesota didn't even use all the tickets. I could see little specks of purple. They had very little presence at that football game.
Okay, so you're buying 2,000 tickets. They're not all going to be in one section.
Well, that was their thought. They were going to be road, like bench area. They were going to try to create a little bit of a bubble for their football team. John,
no,
it didn't go very far, the point, $2 million. Yeah. And then not all the Viking fans even bought in, which is a stark contrast to Lions fans who don't need the team to buy them tickets to go on the road and take over venues. Yeah. I mean, it's the team, it's this fan base, it's everything at the same time right now. And I said the path goes through Detroit. Let's talk about what that practically means for people. It means you get a week to rest up, and they could use it.
Yeah, Levi Onwuzurike, Terrion Arnold,
Zeitler.
Among those that are a part of the wounded Warriors, and now all of a sudden they've got a little extra time to heal up.
You get a week to heal. You'll then play the worst team remaining in the NFC playoffs. If you win that game, you will host the NFC title game. 8-2 the last 10 years, the home side in the NFC Championship. You are then in the Super Bowl. Like, understand what last night really meant. Now, Minnesota's got to get up off the mat, go on the road. John, I'm not sure that they do. I was very unimpressed with their performance. And if that's Sam Darnold, they're not making a run in the postseason.
I mean, that was, I think you just saw the Vikings team that just ran out of gas. They ran out of magic. And whether it was, Justin Jefferson, can you just imagine? We have said this, and I know I've said it, and I still believe it. Justin Jefferson is the best receiver in the NFL. Now, you could argue Chase, Jamar Chase, but what's amazing is both those guys came from the same national championship team, and you look back at that, and it's just you're in awe of how much talent was on that team. But Justin Jefferson, the best receiver in the NFL, 3 catches, 54 yards on 9 targets. Hello, Amik Robertson, awesome job, and no touchdowns.
They were held out of the end zone for the entire game. A top 10 offense against what was left of the Lions defense, held out of the end zone. I saw a great video, and it was from the window of a plane, and it said this is the only touchdown the Vikings had in Detroit. 248-539-9797. We're having a good time today on a groovy Victory Monday, a double-digit disco. And John, the other storyline, the 15-2 Express has arrived. They won 15 games.
I know.
It's absurd.
It's to think that at 14-3, when Tom and I said that when the schedule came out, and we were, Tom, how much were we slandered for thinking that they could win 14 games? And we underestimated them.
Well, nobody does that in the NFL anymore.
Right, no,
they don't win
you can't
14
do that.
games.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
No.
And how could you possibly have 2 14-win teams at the end of the season? It's never happened in NFL history. I get that.
Right. They fulfilled the prophecy. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And my feeling going into the game that there was a significant difference at quarterback, and you lost a turnover battle 2-0. Your quarterback didn't play all that well either. It was probably bad Goff night, and you're going to get one of those every 4 or 5 games, and they got away with it. They outgained them by over 130 yards, first downs by 10. It probably should have been more than it was in some ways if the Lions' passing game was clicking a little bit more.
The game could have been over by halftime.
But the Vikings' defense showed up in the first half, and it was just a demolition, a disco demolition.
But I want to be very careful. I don't think it was bad Goff because there was a tip there. The one he threw that overthrew J-Mo, I don't know what was going on there. And I don't know if we heard last night, did they ask Dan Campbell, was that...
it was odd because there were 2 defenders, and even if he ran the wrong
route... Was it a J-Mo issue?
Yeah, I don't know.
Was it a Goff issue? Like, I don't know what happened in that play, but for the other moments, Goff was still throwing laser beams. He was amazing, and he was throwing laser beams when he knew he was going to get hit right under the chin.
Just bad Goff, relatively speaking.
Right, yeah, it's not perfect QBR Goff.
Right, exactly. And I thought the pass he made on 4th down and 4th and 5, when he was about ready to get killed, and he hit him in stride, and they got the first down there. That was huge. So it's not like he played a horrible game.
I think that play illustrates where Goff has grown since coming to Detroit. At the end of his time with the Rams, that play creates happy feet. The ball doesn't come out clean. Yeah. They don't convert. In Detroit, he's confident. He's composed. It's the unblocked guy. It's the quarterback's guy, and he knows he's going to take a hit. You got to be a tough SOB. You got to stand in, and you got to deliver. One play later, they score a touchdown. John, I thought that was the other story. 4th downs. That led to one touchdown. They scored another on a fourth down, and I thought Dan Campbell intimidated. His presence intimidated Kevin O'Connell. He stuffed him into a locker. They're trying to go for it early, even though they're not a team that does it. Then they're chasing later. Then they're kicking. They were inconsistent on fourth down, where the Lions have a clear identity and they put the pressure on you.
And here's the thing about going for it on fourth down so many times. You create an awareness. J-Mo, the first fourth down conversion, first of all, his speed to be able to get across the field and Jared Goff to be able to deliver it. But you have to have a sense of how many times have we seen receivers not looking for a ball. I'm not talking about here in Detroit, but in football, not looking for a ball when the quarterback knows he's going to take a hit. He holds on to it as long as he has, delivers the ball, and then the receiver is not ready for it. The awareness of whether it's Amon-Ra St. Brown, Gibbs, Laporta, J-Mo, to be able to understand the pre-snap look, read it, know that Goff is going to take a hit, that they've got to get to a certain spot as quickly as possible, but their eyes have to be on Goff. They have to be ready for the football. It takes all of that, whether it's coaching, it's awareness, it's hey, in the huddle, Jared Goff saying, you got to look quick because I know I'm going to take a hit.